Hi guys. How you been? Um, I'm not going to even bother apologizing for not doing a video in a while because I just do that too much. Just like sometimes I just don't have the time really. Um, Honestly, I'm like more active on Facebook. But anyway, this video I'm doing now is going to be a movie review for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I just got back from seeing it with a couple of my friends. Um, and obviously I'm here to present my thoughts to you on what I thought about it. Okay, so Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, to start off, I have always been a big Spider-Man fan my entire life. Um, I've always watched, the cartoons, the Sam Raimi movies, um, and I've read a few of the comic books. Um, so yeah, I've basically loved Spider-Man my entire life. Superheroes in general, also. Um, but yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the sequel to the reboot of Spider-Man that came out in 2012, The Amazing Spider-Man. Now that movie I really liked because I think it was like a different take on Spider-Man than we'd gotten before. Because after Spider-Man 3, I think we needed a better, fresher take on Spider-Man. Because fucking Spider-Man 3 just sucked so much. Um, but, Amazing Spider-Man from 2012 I thought was better than the original 3 because it took itself, I think, a little bit more seriously and gave sort of a different look to the universe of Spider-Man. And this movie, I think, kind of did the same thing. Now, the question I think people are going to be asking is, is this one better than the first? I think kind of, just a little bit. I mean, this movie is actually getting like kind of bad reviews right now. But honestly, for me, having just gotten back from seeing it, I think this movie was pretty good, but there were a lot of things that I think didn't work. Um, First of all, I think one thing that really bugged me about this movie is that, this is just my opinion, I think it kind of focused a little too much on the romance between Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Yeah, I think it focused a little too much on that and took away from the spirit of Spider-Man, but I'm not saying that's a completely bad thing, but I just think it focused on it a little more than it should have. But there are actually a lot of good things about the movie. I think pretty much all the actors are great. Andrew Garfield is brilliant as Spider-Man. I think he's much better than Tobey Maguire was because he's a little bit more, I guess, badass, I guess you could say, than Tobey Maguire was. And he's still good in this, don't get me wrong. Uh, Emma Stone is still great as Gwen Stacy. But you have to touch on the newer actors, okay? The newer actors. First off, Jamie Foxx as Electro. I think he was okay, I guess. I mean, he basically in the beginning of the movie, he's just basically this super fan of Spider-Man. He's basically stalking Spider-Man, and then he becomes Electro, and you can still kind of see that there is good in him, but basically how the world views him, that just turns him evil. And that's kind of the interesting part about his character. And that he kind of has a reason for why he turned evil. Now the other villains, okay, I'll try not to spoil anything, but it's gonna be hard. The other villains are okay, except they're not in it for as long as Electro is. Now the actors who play them, Paul Giamatti and Dane DeHaan, they're okay in their roles. I mean, Dane DeHaan, I think he was great as Harry Osborn, fantastic. I think he was, believe it or not, I think much better than James Franco was in the original three. Yeah, I think he just had a little bit more to work with. Now Paul Giamatti is, Rhino. I think was the weakest villain because he was only in 2 scenes. Once at the beginning and then all the way at the end. Which, by the way, the ending of this movie, like the very last shot, you can see in the trailer. Which kind of surprised me. Anyway, yeah, they're okay, okay, honestly, I think the villains in this movie were kind of, like, underused. Like, they weren't used to their full potential. But, maybe in the sequels they'll be brought back and used better. I mean, this is only the 2nd movie, and they already have a 3 and a 4 planned. And plus Avengers 2, but I don't think Spider-Man's going to be in that. Now, what else do I have to say? And also, this movie touches a little bit more on the story about Peter Parker's parents. Like, you actually get to learn a little bit more about what happened to them. Yeah. And also, the ending, I kind of thought dragged a little too long. Like, at one point I thought it was going to end, but then it just kept going for about 10 more minutes, and I was like, it should have ended way before. And something does happen in the end that I kind of sort of expected, but I'm glad of the fact that they did it, because usually superhero movies always cop out on it. I'm not going to say what it is, but I enjoyed the way it was handled. But other than that, I thought this was a pretty decent sequel. I mean, not better than the first one. I mean, kind of is. I don't know. I mean, I just got back from seeing it. Maybe I'll change my opinion as time goes on. But overall, I think the acting was good. The story was good. The thing that bummed me is that they kind of underused the villains when I wanted to see, much more of them. Another thing that bummed me is that it focused a little too much on the love aspect. But, it was okay. I mean, not brilliant, not the best superhero movie I've ever seen by any means, no. But still decent. So I would give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a frickin' awesome. Okay. That was my review for Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, and the thing you might be wondering is, should I do a spoiler video? I don't think I really want to. I just don't want to do another video about it. Yeah. And like I said, sorry I've not been doing a lot of videos. It's just sometimes I can never find the time. Yeah. Alright, bye.